the ghost of Nas Lantimir. Alrighty, my fellow adventurers. We are here on the 2nd of August. We are in the land of Icewind Dale, specifically the Sea of Moving Ice, aboard the Isle of Solstice, continuing our adventure in this Forgotten Realms. But before we can begin our adventure, we gotta find out what happened last time. So if you guys are interested in gaining a point of DM inspiration, please give me a recap roll into chat. Alright, I got a 15 from Gaiman. I'll do a 15 going once, going twice, and we will sell it to Gaiman.
Alright, I will do my best. So, previously on Adventures in Icewind Dale, we were how many leagues below the sea? Although a league is a measurement of distance, not depth. So, yeah. We were debating how best to handle things that we were gonna, uncover. Discovered a walrus talk to us as we diving down the depths. Didn't find too much more treasure after we got that initial, good haul. But, made a friend, I suppose, although I have an inherent distrust of talking animals. So, that all worked out, got the heads up about some of the stuff going on this Frost Island that we're on. And, mind, we're still at sea. We're at the ship graveyard. So we go back top because of the scrags, and lo and behold, they behaved themselves. I tried to be, cheeky, bit skullduggery. Tried to see if they might be interested in trading their magical staff for some trinkets that, not trinkets, but the chest with a bunch of coppers and 1 silver. Not so stupid as they look. No. So I got them to go for a wager. So we did have to put up some, goodies. I'd hit them to go for it. So best 2 out of 3, and in leg wrestling, and the old boy came out on top. Yeah. So the rest of the travelling was pretty uneventful. When we get to the island, kind of have to figure out how best to approach things, because the whole thing's made up for frost giants, and they're way bigger than we are. So it's a bit climbing, get onto the island, actually start exploring, and when we get to the point, looking for the wrecked sea ship, whatnot. We come across, body in the ice that was holding an orb that's sentient, and the body has a ghost with unfinished business that's hovering, and it has to stay within 200 feet. So we dug up the ice cold corpse, dragging that along, so that the ghost can, try and resolve its unfinished business, and also stop trying to possess us. Sort of a happy medium. And plus we're getting the grand old tour of the place. So from Vice Meafed. And seems pretty proud of itself, knowing what it knows and what to show us around. This Sobo character. So we're still on the grand old tour. we'll see what other nonsense we get up to this time around.
That was a great recap. Great recap. Please award yourself a DM inspiration for your recap, for your efforts. Now let's look at our factspiration question for tonight. Would you rather be a lawful evil devil or a lawful good angel, and why? Let that sink in for just a second. So, Akia, would you rather be a lawful evil devil or a lawful good angel, and why?
Well, Akia's experience with angels and devils and good and evil beings don't have any experience with angels. Don't really have any expectations of them. Being lawful good doesn't mean a whole lot to them, but they do know someone who's a devil that they're traveling with, Lotus. So they're like, well, that seems fine. So basically, they're indifferent to the choice. But if they had to choose, they've seen the deal making and the Lotus, and they're like, I guess devils are okay. So they would lean slightly in that direction.
I like the rationale. I like the reasoning. So, Akia, please award yourself a factspiration point. The Lotus, Evilis. How about yourself? Given the opportunity to be a lawful good devil or a lawful evil devil or a lawful good angel, what decision would you make?
Well, I guess maybe thinking of, like, alternate timelines and universes and all that jazz. Thinking one where Luvisus decides to, instead of just going off on his own, just decides to say, like, I'm taking my daughter with me to Hells, and then she decides to become, Devil Princess herself. And I guess she would be totally down for, just being a devil, because to her it's like, with notable exceptions recently, but prior to coming to Icewind Dale, most religious people she's known are people who've used religion to enrich themselves and to make themselves more powerful. And, say what you want about devils, at least they seem to get shit done.
Damn. Okay, so 2 for 2 on the Devil Squad. 2 for 2 on the Devil Squad. Please award yourself a factspiration point for this evening. Now, Gaiman, how about yourself? What way would you tilt in this conversation?
Well, I thought I was going to be avant-garde and, go with lawful evil, devil. But apparently, we look at the... I guess we're all coming to the same answer for different reasons. So, my rationale is, whenever I think lawful good, I think of paladins, and what comes to mind there is lawful stupid. That you're so focused on, what is good, what is proper, that you are incapable of operating in the grey. You know what I mean? Like, you're looking at a situation and you only apply one perspective, one set of rules to it in order to, make a thing happen. And my consideration is that if you are lawful evil, that can essentially mean that you have guiding principles, and evil is relative, isn't it? So, I mean, from a certain point of view, one could do horrible acts, like killing a bunch of people, let's say. However, in the context of, let's say, while killing is considered evil, if you're killing in the name of country or leadership or protecting your friends and family, that is then, considered a certain point of view. So I rationalise, and I know it's a slippery slope. You're rationalising as an evil creature, or as an individual doing evil acts. But you can, look at a situation from different perspectives, and you can apply whatever seems more appropriate as opposed to a more rigid, black and white definitions of things. You have some flexibility, and there's an incentive to, be unexpected if you're a devil,
Yeah. If I can, I think a very appropriate quote from our good friend Peter Griffin. Lawful good angel gets to do good, but lawful evil, devil, they could do anything. They could even do good if they wanted to. And you know how much we want to do good, taking lawful evil devil.
If
Interesting.
you do good acts as a lawful evil devil, you are in fact doing evil. From a certain point of view.
I'm loving the rationale, and I'm on it. I'm on Team Devil all the way. I'm on Team Devil. So, for bonus points that don't award any power to you guys, any, what's the word? Any special boons. If you'd like to find out the answer to any of your NPCs, please give me a roll into chat, and I will award the highest roller the chance to ask this question of the NPC. Ooh, okay. All right, Gaiman, who would you like to know the answers for this question?
I'd like to know what our friend Sybil would think. Because she's this hoity-toity, high-and-mighty religious type. I'm kind of curious where her head's at.
So her answer would be that she, and this might be surprising, she would actually serve as a lawful evil devil, because in her viewpoint, many angels or celestials seem to not take an active role in the protection of the universe. They seem to take more of a passive role. And in her mind, active roles such as fighting the blood war, such as eliminating demons, trying to serve justice, has a higher calling than angels, who seem to work more as people in the background who don't have a necessary active role in things. She also doesn't like how in certain aspects angels don't have a clear line of succession to the top, whereas devils have more or less a more pull yourself up by the bootstraps type situation. Which may be a little messed up, depending on how you look at it. Okay, so let me kind of take us back to this island of Solstice here. So you all, at the end of the session, essentially came to find the corpse of Naslantamir, which is now being kind of dragged by our friend Gaiman.
On the transom, not just dragging a dead body around.
It's very, it gives me big Hellboy 1 vibes when they dig that guy out of the corpse, or out of the grave, and he's dragging him around trying to figure out what's going on. So I'm getting big Hellboy vibes. Her ghost is following you guys. Her familiar is following you. Her familiar does not speak. It just makes really cute weasel noises. And remind me, guys, my brain is not reminding me. Who is holding the orb?
Kumaku.
Kumaku is holding the orb. They are gazing into the Professor Orb, Professor Scant. So you got those new components to the adventure, and then you have, of course, Sopo. That is not Sopo. When that pops up, this is Sopo. Anyways, so you guys are heading out on your next adventure, kind of choosing where you wish to go.
Kumaku's under orders to just take Professor Scant wherever they want to go. They'll figure out how they maneuver that. So that'll kind of give Scant some ability to move themselves around. Because orbs are people too.
Orbs are indeed people too.
Yeah, and then we're all roped up, and I think we were just about to head to the. I think Sopo said we could go see the statue made by Auril next.
Oh, that's right. We tied ourselves together because of the rock.
Yeah, and I think we're still tied together.
Absolutely, and that rock, as you guys have learned, is named Iskra, and she's not friendly. So Sopo, the ice mephit, you'll say, well, if you are all ready, I can begin our journey, taking us to our next location, seeing the beautiful ice statues.
Oh, yes, I can't wait.
Wait, question. These ice statues, this isn't a case of like, the people that have been turned into statues, is it?
From my understanding, Gaiman, these statues are, in fact, works of art, not people frozen to death. Lady Frostkiss is quite the artist.
Alright, it's just, I don't know, it seems like the sort of sense of humor God might have where, oh, there's beauty and art and death, and what better way to use a frozen corpse than to pose it, especially in a desolate wasteland like this, yada yada yada, so on and so forth. So, hence my skepticism, if you know what I mean.
Of course. Well, I will show you the statues first, and then there is a location that might be very of interest to you, called the Garden of Death, as we like to call it, where what you're describing is shown out.
So you have ice sculptures, and then you have a death garden.
That's correct.
Bloody hell.
Your mistress certainly has very interesting tastes.
Why, yes, of course. Lady Frostkiss, she is a beautiful artist, a weaver of the beauty of winter and all things frozen.
Well, maybe she's got a Slurpee machine hanging around somewhere.
Don't use the word Slurpee. Related to her, they're just bad vibes. Bad vibes.
No, Gaiman, a Slurpee isn't that. It's You know what? Never mind.
Well, shall we? And they will begin their journey, moving you guys to the ice sculptures. It's about 1,000 feet of walking through quite rugged snow and ice. You're constantly having to kind of dip, duck, and dodge over snowbanks. There is no trail to be seen, so you're trudging through waist-deep snow in certain parts, and then having to cross over icy passes, and it's not great. It's not a whole lot of fun. During this situation, as you guys are traveling, is there any conversations that are had between the players or the NPCs that you guys wish to play out, or any questions that you have for any of your old NPCs or your new NPCs?
I don't think Akia is really. Well, I mean, their face doesn't change, but Akia keeps giving Ness dirty looks. I think that's it.
Nas Lantimir, being a wizard and kind of a rude one, would see your dirty looks, and she would throw you a sneer and say, "Metal Man, what are you looking at? I thought we had made our amends. We've treated for now."
Alicia, what exactly is involved in exorcising a ghost? From being a pain in my arse.
Well, there is, in fact, several rituals that I have learned in my service to the Thunder that would help us in this fact. So maybe I should review these before we continue on.
Nas, we're doing you a favor. You have nothing that we want.
She kind of snickers and says, "We'll see about that." As she looks at her orb, being held by Kimuku, and kind of steeples her ghostly fingers together.
You know what? Let's just skip the exorcism. Alright, what can I chuck at this dead beat to get her to shut the fuck up?
Well, unfortunately, Gaiman, being a ghost, she's incorporeal. But you got a couple magic weapons. I'm sure one of them's bound to work.
I'm not trying to get her. I'm trying to, make a point.
Yes, and what better way to make a point with something magical and sharp?
Gaiman will take the kind of the pointy spike that's at the end of Lucille, and in my mind, there's like the hammer side of Lucille, there's the axe side of Lucille, and then there's like a spike at the top of the haft of the axe. And he's going to try poking the ghost with the point to see if that has any impact.
As you poke her, Nas Lantimir will let out a yelp. Ow! Hey, we have a treat for now. I'll keep my hands to myself. Just make sure you do yours.
Gaiman's going to start giggling a little bit because he's now found his new favorite thing to do now that he knows he can harm her or bother her. He's like, but just remember, if you misbehave, I'm gonna tickle you. Yeah. And he's gonna brandish the axe at her, not actually touching her, but he'll have the point hovering nearby, doing the whole "I'm not touching you" thing.
Oof, oof. Oh no.
I mean, she should apologize for trying to possess me, right? That was, like, a mean thing to do, right?
Well, it wasn't exactly nice.
Let's say bygones be bygones. Because you were going to take my orb, weren't you?
Well,
You're
all
dead.
was what it was wanting to be took. Plus, you were dead.
I was just trying to help Professor Scant.
Professor Scant will shout from Kimakyu. Why, thank you. I was lamenting my potential and possible loss of knowledge to the, well, frozen wastes.
If anything, you should be apologizing to Professor Scant for getting him abandoned in the wilderness.
Naslantamir is making a big frowny face at the moment. Big frowny face as this is happening. And she sighs and she tries to like roll her eyes back and just remind herself that she's doing this to fulfill herself, fulfill her mission, and then it will be finished and done with. Now, as you guys are doing this, Sopo has been giving a detailed like tour of where you guys are going, but it's being drowned out by the sound of the wind, the sound of conversation, and the Ice Method seems to need some practice in the arts of like museum curation, as they are not able to give a really great tour here, but they're doing their best.
I guess after our thing with the, with our new ghostly friend, I think I'd probably turn to Valish Gant to say, like, all right, maybe you've got some actual useful information. Since you know of the Arcane Brotherhood, what can you tell me about Avarice?
He looks around and he will say, well, am I allowed to speak?
She'll roll her eyes and say, yes, Gant, you can speak.
Yeah, I want to make sure before, someone decides to start wailing on me or something.
And I think Damon's a little bit preoccupied with your ghostly friend here, so, yeah.
I kind of feel like all this would be going on while Gaiman and Ia are tormenting Nas.
Yep.
Well, I remember something about her that, I don't know. I don't know if the other wizards would have remembered. She always had a weird she was really preoccupied with creatures from like the lower planes and doing things with the nine hells. It was odd. It wasn't the ordinary preoccupation or activities of a wizard of the Arcane Brotherhood.
Alright, well that tracks what I've already learned so far. You see, Ants, I know from a reliable source that Avarice has the ability to help me out with a situation that I'm in.
Okay. And what's that?
She'll actually chuckle a bit. Oh, you think I'm really just going to tell you? We're like we're friends now, is that it?
Well, I thought we were having a conversation or something, but I guess not.
Well, and she gets this, I guess this is the best way to say it, this bit of an evil grin. And she'll pull up the mask for just a brief moment, showing like the flash of like her scarred up body, and then just gonna go at him, and then just pull it right back down.
All right, give me a intimidation check to see how it goes.
All right. 11.
All right, so it's a little bit of a surprise, but it doesn't shock him too much. He goes, "Oh, okay. I see why you might need her help then with her ability of, transfiguration and, flesh morphing that she might potentially have."
Yes, and while maybe we're there, we can have her, maybe fix you up.
What's wrong with me?
I mean, how long have you got?
Well, I see. This is a jape at my personal expense.
Once again, Gantz, you seem to have forgotten your whole running a protection racket out of Bryn Shander thing, which, by the way, even for a protection racket, you did kind of a shitty job if a journalist from, she stops herself for a moment, from another town could figure you out.
He kind of coughs into his hand. Well, I guess I have some work to do before the next time I enter into a business venture. Skills to learn, rituals to practice, those type of things.
Well, maybe if you're lucky, maybe Asmodeus will teach you something.
Yes, I'm sure he will. And at this moment, as you guys are finishing up this conversation, you guys arrive. And we will say that the time that all of this happened, it is nearing about 10 a.m. So it is still dark here in the Dale. As you guys make it to this location, you've unlocked some flavor text. Your flavor text for this location. Through the blowing snow, you see a grand assembly of ice sculptures across a snowy field. You also see that these sculptures are kind of lit up by blue crystals and gems. Closer examinations of these sculptures see that the subjects are very faithfully represented. You see bears, elk, saber-toothed tigers, wolves, yetis, and other creatures of the north. No mortal hands could potentially create such beautiful artwork. So as you guys make landfall here, Sopo will say, "Please, everyone, gather, look around, look at the interesting statues, and see what you might find. See what you see. See the artwork of Lady Frostkiss for yourself."
Wait, you're telling us Auril herself made these?
Why, yes. Lady Frostkiss is the artist behind these beautiful sculptures.
So Gaiman's going to try and look at the sculptures closely, and despite what he was told about them not being people that were frozen, as they were in the extreme weather and dying, He is going to look to see if perhaps these were animals that may have lived here at one point, and they have been, turned into sculptures.
Sure. This could be either perception or investigation check. Kind of two different ways to go about it here as you guys are exploring and looking at these sculptures. So Gaiman, with a 22, as you're looking at these sculptures, you see that these sculptures are clear as crystal. The only thing within them is the beauty of eternal winter. Ice through and through, almost as if they were sculpted from diamond itself.
Is there actually a broken one here?
Akia, as you investigate over here, you do see, in fact, a statue that has been broken. You see it is a statue representing a Remorhaz, that somehow the head of the statue has been broken off.
Sopo.
Why, yes, Akia, as Sopo flies over.
Do you know what happened to this statue?
Oh, in the general sense, I think I may know what has happened. These statues are incredibly brittle, even though they are made from the Frostmaiden's hand. They are constructed material. It's not of incredible strength, so even the slightest miscalculation of touch could shatter them. Someone would not know the horror of the Frostmaiden wrath. I hope they would never feel it for breaking one of her statues.
Rose will just sort of roll her eyes and say, like, well, we've already experienced some of the Frostmaiden's wrath ourselves.
Oh, and you survived. It's quite impressive if you faced Lady Frostkiss herself.
Oh, no, not her directly, but some of her more zealous followers.
Ah, I see. Yes. Well, a mortal creature is more than likely different than a god.
Certainly. So when we come up, do we notice that the statues emanate warmth? Like I think that was said last time. Like some of the statues were warm to the touch.
As you approach the statues, you guys can let me know how close and how far away you get to the statues, and I can tell you what you sense and what you feel.
Well, since Sopo said that they were warm, Akia is the first statue that he comes up to, which was this one over here. They would put their hand like a couple centimeters from it, so real close, but not actually touching it.
Sure. So, Akia, you approach a statue of a winter elk, and it is an interesting sensation as your hand kind of moves closer to it. It's almost as if the ice and the snow that are falling almost miss the statue perfectly, and it's almost as if there is a small pocket where it is not as cold as what is hitting the back of your body.
Very interesting.
I kind of feel as part of Gaiman's investigation, since the number was so high, that like he's getting up in like the face of the creatures, like sniffing at them, not like a dog, but just sort of like that sort of like I don't know. I don't know how best to describe it. But if you're going to an art gallery, you're just like, so that's what all this is. Then not like he's trying to smell it, but sort of like I don't know, a derisive sniff, I suppose. And like he's getting down on all fours, like looking at the animals' undercarriages, as it were, just to see how detailed things get. Like he's giving it a thorough once over.
Sure. And your allies are kind of doing the same, kind of looking around, kind of looking at all of these interesting things that are being displayed. Of course, I feel like that's a gaming trait 101.
So does Gaiman, smell anything or feel anything? Like he's getting close. He's not touching it because he doesn't know what touching one of these creatures might do. It might like set them off, or it might trigger something else to happen. So he's just sort of
So
looking but not touching.
Gaiman, you notice that on all of these creatures, kind of in the same relative spot, there is a interesting symbol, and you've seen this symbol before, dotted all over Bryn Shander. You recognize it as the symbol that would recognize the Church of Auril. The symbol of Auril herself is on the statue where the creature's heart would be. And you find that as you're doing your investigations of all of these statues.
Oh, sorry, Barry. What's all this then? What's this symbol? And Gaiman will point at it.
Ah, I believe that is the sigil of Lady Frostkiss herself. Those from the elemental plane of water, such as I, would recognize the symbol well as a glyph, a warning, perhaps, if we intended to do ill will to those who bear it, or to any object that might have it. Akia, as you approach that pool, you see there is almost a statue of what appears to be wolves. When you look down into the frozen pool, can you give me a charisma saving throw?
Uh, 9.
So, Akia, there's this pool in front of you. But as you look at it, expecting to see a frozen, like, glassy lake, you see that it is actually kind of a rippling, watery type pond. Almost like ponds that you have read about in stories some might use to make wishes. So your failed charisma saving throw would point you toward what would you do if you saw one of these wishing ponds, Akia?
I think Akia would start wondering what they would wish for, and they would just start. They would probably start daydreaming about what wish they would make.
Lotus and Gaiman, you see that Akia looks a little glassy-eyed, more so than usual. He's kind of staring down into this pond of wolves. Akia, would you be making like the happy face on your emote screen?
They would be, instead of making this face.
Yes.
So instead of making this face, they would be making this face.
Yeah, I think Lotus would probably come up like beside you, Kia, and just say like, Kia, are you all right?
Hello. Yes, I'm fine.
You know, Akia, it's said that when you stare into the abyss also stares back at you.
I have heard that saying. Although, not every body of water can be the abyss. And this one seems nice enough.
Well, guess if anyone's going to try their luck, I might as well. Probably due for some good luck. She'll take out a copper piece, sort of like flick it between her fingers, and using a thumb, just sort of like flick it into the water.
Okay. Akia, what would you have wished for?
I think being in this place here and now would affect that for sure. So I think what they would wish for in this place is to... What they would wish for is to be able to speak to Auril directly.
Interesting. Now, before we resolve that, Lotus, what would you have wished for?
I guess she would have wished to, well, since she already knows that her mom is okay, physically, if not emotionally, she would want to know, be able to see Diamante and, you know, what she's doing and how she's doing.
Okay. So here's the order of events as your coin hits the water. Gaiman, you see that these two kind of have like this like goofy look on their face as they're kind of pondering the water. And there's a ripple in the water as you guys kind of stare down. The ripple kind of shapes and turns and spins. In the water, Lotus, you see your friend Diamante, but maybe in a way you didn't wish to see them. There is a familiar sight. A technologically advanced cage, glass covering it, wriggling wires that look like tentacles, and purple, sluggish hands reaching towards open eyes as your friend Diamante screams in the water.
All of a sudden, Lucy says like, "What? No! No! Look over! Look over!"
And do you like reach into the water to try to grab whatever is there?
I would say in the moment, yeah, she would reach for it.
So, Gaiman, you see Lotus like reaches into the water, and Lotus, as your hands splash the water, the image kind of fades from existence.
Yeah, she starts like shuffling through like pretty much every curse word she can think of in both common and draconic, and at the end she's just going like, "No, fuck, fuck, fuck."
As the Akia, you notice this as the splashing water kind of hits the lip. A small statue of a bird gets splashed by the water and falls off the lip to the ground, and it shatters. With that shattering, the wind that was so loud, the air that was kind of whipping by you all, stops. Akia, behind Gaiman, standing behind Sopo, a figure begins to kind of pull up from the snow, pull up from the ice, as if it's almost like formed from it. It is a feminine figure. Its voice deeper than any you've heard before, as it says, "Defilers." And its snowy hand points out to you, Akia. "Defilers, come to my island, seeking to speak with me, seeking to know my name. You, my child, tell me your name." The figure made of snow and ice says to you, Akia.
I am Akia number 13. Mother, we're sorry. We did not mean to break the statue.
You have damaged my art, and now I will kill each one of you. And the form fades down into the ground, and I need everyone to give me a Constitution saving throw.
I feel like this is important, so I would like to use the inspiration roll advantage.
Absolutely. Lotus, that is a success. You guys, tell me in the chat if Lex wants to roll. Okay, that is a success from Gaiman. It is not a success from Danica. Let me roll for Sopo. Alright, Sopo did not succeed. The Ghost of Naslantamir did not succeed.
I think I'll also use a DM inspiration because this does seem important.
Prisoner 237, aka one Mr. Valish Gant. Let's see how they go. Alright, let's see how they did. Okay, Akia, that's a success. That is a failure from Prisoner 237. Let's see how Professor Scant does. Alright, they fell. Alright, Mr. Nabernacker definitely fails. And can you give me a roll from Kumaku? That is a failure from Kumaku. So far, all of the PCs have passed. All of the NPCs have failed. Let's see here. I know Lex is listening in. Would Lex use a DM inspiration on this?
Yeah, I feel they would.
All right, let's do it. I will spin one of their DM inspirations. They have 3.
Sorry, Lex, but that was not the case.
Ooh, okay. So they got a 17. So that is actually a failure for Alicia. Let's see. You guys got a lot. You guys have a fair amount of fanspirations. Do you think they would want to use a fanspo knowing they failed?
Yeah,
Can I use a overclock to give them a +4?
You can. All right. All of your NPCs who failed, the PCs all succeeded, now all have vulnerability to cold damage. Which they all like look at you guys, and after that moment They all look like they're freezing cold. And then another thing happens. Lotus, you see from the water, that barely has that vision of your friend Diamante as it's fading out of existence. Black, razor-sharp claws stick out of the water. And then a gigantic white head covered in hair sticks itself out of the water as a gigantic yeti roars to life. Doing a sick backflip, another yeti appears. Doing a corkscrew double gainer, another yeti appears. And there should be one more here somewhere. And a third yeti appears, kind of coming down towards you all. As I will ask you to all roll into initiative as this situation has occurred.
Hey, we don't have to go looking for Korgra.
That is correct. Korgra has come to you all. Let's see here. We need a good fight music soundtrack here for this epic battle between y'all and these Yeti. Here we go. Okay, let's look at the initiative order here. Okay. Strangely enough, the Ghost of Naslantamir and Valishgant have also rolled into initiative. I don't know what that's about.
I mean, I thought they were I figured Vader's Gant was technically part of the B team, so doesn't he have, like, immunity?
I don't think he does.
Or they might have just revoked it.
All right,
on
but
purpose.
Alicia says
BT immunity has just been revoked.
they look around, looking very afraid. Your B teamers who have B team immunity, including Professor Scant. Oh, sorry, I made Kimaku a bit invisible, but Professor Scant will disappear. Mr. Mabernacker disappears. And Danica Grayskill will disappear. Okay. Alicia says, whoa, 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 whoa. And running Alicia here, she says, I don't know what these guys have in store for us, but I want to make sure we're covered. And she'll move closer to you guys. And she says, just in case. We'll bless everybody. Using a second level slot, so everyone is blessed. So she will give you guys the power of bless. And make sure that's active. And give herself that power as well. All right, and with that, she says, just in case they're going to do something wacky, let's all make sure we're protected. So she blesses you, and then she will pass things off to Lotus. Lotus, you're right by them.
Well, I can only really see the one in front of me, but that's okay. Don't like the idea of getting smacked around. So I think that, here, go ahead and take defensive mode for the moment. So this will be the first time I bust this out. I'm going to go ahead and cast Armor of Agathis on myself. I'll go ahead and bump that up to 2nd level.
Just so you know, temp HP doesn't stack.
Gotcha.
So you can choose this new form of temp HP over the... Lotus, you may want to go back because you have 10 HP from the start of the day from your Lathander bonus.
Ah, right. Sorry, I forgot about that. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's rewind that back. All right. All right. Still want to get away, so I think... let's see here. Am I within... let's see here. Attack range of the Yeti and the fountain here.
You believe that you are indeed within its attack range. Here, I will give you guys a little... because you guys would know this being experienced combatants. I will show this off with blue. With blue. Say blue. You believe that if you're within that circle, he can probably get you. Wait, is that? Yeah, that's 15.
Showed up.
Did it show up to you guys?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep, I see it. All right. Probably it's pretty heavy, so I'm going to go ahead and don't want to risk attack opportunity right now, even with temp HP. So I'm going to go ahead and instead spend that 2nd little spell slot on Misty Step. Sorry, clicked the wrong thing there. All right, let's try that one more time. There we go. I'll pop back here. A little bit behind Alicia. And I'll go ahead and target the dude and use my regular action. I'll go ahead and spend a sorcery point. Oh, nope. I'm just gonna... I can't see anymore, so I'll just go ahead and chuck a single firebolt at him.
Okay, a 28 for 8 damage hits Korgath. And as he is hit for 8 points of fire damage, a feature of his goes off. His fear of fire. So with that, he will have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the end of his next turn.
Alright, well, that's all for me, and since that damaged him, that would give him the opportunity to steal.
Alright, Korgoth will steal. You guys hear the charge of 1 Paragon action. Alright, first things first. Using a bonus action, he is going to target our friend Akia. Akia, he opens his mouth, and from his mouth, quick as a bird diving from the air, he plants a seed on you using a leech seed. So he spits it into your body. So at the start of your turn, Akia, you will need to make a... Oh, I'm sorry, that was not revealed. There we go. So at the start of your turn, Akia, for the next minute, you will have to make a Constitution saving throw or take a D10 of necrotic damage, and Korgath will gain that back in health as you seeded. Okay. So he uses his bonus action for that. He is then going to move here, and as he joins the fight, this is one of his features. A snowstorm starts. So the snow gets a little bit more intense, and each enemy within his radius treats the area within him within 60 feet as difficult terrain. And creatures that end their turn in the storm will take a D10 of cold damage. Alright, he will now use his action. I know that was a lot. And he is near Akia. He also has Alicia and Gaiman in his reach with his long Yeti-like arms. So he is going to use his multi-attack. He holds his hand above his head, and he is going to attack Akia first. His hand freezes in air, forming into a sledgehammer as he drops a sledgehammer-like hand on top of Akia. But, because of disadvantage from fear of fire, he misses. He will then attack Alicia as he grabs from mid-air almost another one of those seeds, and he throws a seed bomb at Alicia, which also misses. Alright, that is it for Korgrath. Not damaging anyone, he will pass to one of his tiny Yetis. This tiny Yeti is running on top of the, you guys can barely see it, basically on top of this little shelf, and it hops down off the shelf, down to the ground, and it will look at Lotus, and it goes, and Lotus, it attempts to stare at you. And Lotus can give me a Constitution saving throw.
Alright.
Wow.
I just imagine it's like it does. I stare at it through the Flavia mask, and you see, like in Cyberpunk 2077, her eyes get this sort of like neon purple glow to them.
Yes, and you are successful, and you are immune to the gaze of all Yetis, but not Abominable Yetis, for 1 hour. So it is unable to get you with that one. And that is that Yeti. I'm going to pass to Yeti number 2. Yeti number 2 is going to run down these stairs, and it's going to use its action to run here. And I will go ahead past the final Yeti. As it runs down off the stairs, Naslanimir's Ghost and Prisoner 237, Baelish Gant, both scream in terror. However, one second here, folks. Oh, sorry. All right, the Yeti seems to ignore them for the second and just moves to here. And they will then pass to Akia. Akia, you're up. Okay, you did not take the damage. Oh, Akia, it looks like you might have 2 instances of Bless on you. I will turn off one of them.
Yeah.
Alright, now you should be good.
Okay. Alright, yeah, that was my leech seed constitution saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I am going to cast mirror image on myself. As my action. And then I think I want to spread out slightly. I think I'm going to shuffle to the other side of Korgon. So it's 5, 10, 15. But difficult terrain only gets me there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my action. Bonus act does mirror image have a thing?
I can give you... Yep.
Yep, it does. Oh, I think maybe you gave me one too.
Yeah, I typically put 3 mirror images on so that we remember you have 3 duplicates.
All right. Bonus action. I'm going to have... Oh, they can actually do that. Bonus action, I'm going to, I guess, try to scan Korgra for information. Okay. Looks like I cannot hit that even with a nat 20, so that's good to know. And then I'm going to order... Wait, I can't do that. They can only dodge. Okay, Kumakyu is going to dodge and move up 20 feet. And that'll be it.
Okay, so they took dodge action and then they moved up.
Yes.
Okay, and they were in the reach of this Yeti. So after so this will be at disadvantage. Okay, Yeti misses. Oh no. Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second. All the Yetis are the same. Give me 1 moment. I thought they were not the same. Okay, sorry, okay, you can continue your turn. All right, I'm just fixing something.
I'll pass to... I guess I will pass to Gant, since they're in initiative.
Gant will take the disengage action and start running away and be like, what is happening?
Be like, keep running, Gant, it's what you're good at.
Wait, is Gant still chained to me, or is he within the rope daisy chain?
Oh shit.
I think they might have been in the B team daisy chain. Because we had to make 2 daisy chains.
Okay.
Oh shit, so he might not be able to do that. That's why
I was bringing it up.
So he tries to disengage and run away, but he's still connected to Gavin, so he's like, and he looks down at the rope. Oh no! So instead, he will just take the dodge action. And then he will pass to Naslantamir's ghost. Naslantamir's ghost will target our friend Baelish Gant. And she tries to enter him.
Kinky.
Naslantamir's ghost disappears. And I will take her off the initiative order for now. Gaiman, as your turn is coming up in initiative, the one known as Korgeth will spend their 1 Paragon power for the round. With it, they are going to actually target Lotus. And Lotus, as they stare at you, they make a terrifying visage as they try to make the scariest face they can. Can you give me a wisdom saving throw, Lotus?
Alright, I'm not so good at this, so I'm going to go ahead and burn a DM inspiration.
Good thing, good thing. Okay,
18.
you do not succumb to fear, and then Gaiman, you're up.
Okay, so I thought there would be less distance between Gant and myself. So am I not in the position that I am? Or is he closer to me then?
Let's see. So you guys right now are about 40 feet apart, so he probably would actually be... Because it was probably like, what, a 20-foot chain? Probably like right here.
Okay. I don't rightly recollect. I feel like it was a shorter chain, but I mean, if you want to say it's 20 feet, it's 20 feet. Well, so serious question, and I feel like this is something that Gaiman might be able to kind of piece together, given he has 19 intelligence. What does Gaiman think or know of his transformation ability? Like, if he were to transform, would he still be chained to Gant, or would that, like, change temporarily? Or, like, would he break the chain if he transformed?
I think Gaiman would know, but based on his transformation, that since Gaiman's body kind of grows in all kind of shape and size when he would transform, it would probably bust the chain, because you guys are, like, linked together, and very much like Incredible Hulk busting out of purple pants. You would burst those pants.
Well, it's pants bursting time then, I guess. Because of, Korgra, because of him, hopping out of the well and roaring, Gaiman in turn is going to roar back, and in his roar, we are going to action transform. Does stuff happen?
Yes, so I press this button. And it should have transformed your token. But I can go in here. And... there we go. And Gaiman transforms from our smiling Gaiman that we typically know. And you all see the visage. Oh, I thought it would show your new token. I will share the Gaiman bear art into the chat here in just a second. So, Gaiman, you are in your hybrid bear transformation. What would you like to do?
I am furry. That does not make me a furry.
Sure.
Alright. I would like to bonus action rage. I'm assuming I can still do that?
Yes, sir.
All right, and Gaiman is going to rush up and I guess kind of force himself in between the Yeti and Akia and everybody else, and kind of like T-pose, like, come at me, bro, fight me. And that's
Okay.
action, bonus action, and movement.
Gaiman, as you move up closer to the creature, it will attempt to use its reaction. It will attempt to use a snowdrift, but I don't think this is going to be any problem for Gaiman now that they're raged and they have become in their bear form. Can you give me a strength saving throw to see if this creature is able to knock you prone as you run up as it tries to create a snowdrift? No problem. Gaiman is able to leap over that snowdrift that the creature creates. That's cool. So, Gaiman, going into round 2, who would you like to pass to?
Does anybody in particular want it? Otherwise, I'm passing to Alicia.
Yeah, go ahead and give it to them.
I'll give it to Alicia.
I don't think... No, you couldn't catch any Yetis in a 15-foot cone, it looks like. Hold on, maybe? Potentially? Nope.
Oh, wait, and am I taking any sort of damage being in that aura, any of my turn in that aura?
That is correct. So, because you guys are in the snowstorm, if you ended your turn in the snowstorm, which everyone did last time around, I think everyone has basically resistance to cold. We'd be looking at 3 damage from our snowstorm last time. If you have resistance.
Oh, I do.
Alicia got the resistance. Okay. Yeah, actually multiple... You could probably catch 2 Yetis with a fireball. 2 of the little guys you could catch without... and then you could either probably catch the big guy... You'd catch 2 little guys, it looks like. That's like here. Yeah, you could catch those 2, Or actually, yeah, you could catch the big guy and... You could catch the big guy. Yep. Guys, fireball. It's so good. Alright, we're going to drop a fireball. Definitely got put in the wrong spot by your DM, but that's alright. It was meaning to go right here. And it misses Gaiman, hits this guy, and hits this little one. It does hit Sopo. Wait, hold on. If we slide it 1 up, it misses Sopo. Okay, so both the Yetis will make a dexterity saving throw. Okay, Korgoth fails, taking the full amount. Yeti. The top Yeti succeeds here. But they will take half, and both are subjected to their fear of fire. And And then, Alicia will drag her spiritual weapon. And unfortunately, a spiritual weapon will miss. All right, and I think that's probably. Alicia, you're currently in a opportunity attack with Korgath. We can do it in a stick there. This is the weirdest way to play. The little Yeti is going to steal first. Little Yeti will steal first. So the little Yeti runs towards our friend Lotus. They will make a multi-attack. And Lotus, you see them holding their claws aloft as they make 2 claw strikes at you. Both of which miss due to disadvantage because fear of fire. They will go ahead and pass to the next Yeti. Next Yeti here. Okay. Is going to start moving up towards you guys. And notice this Yeti, it's moving closer towards Alicia. It would have entered your opportunity attack range, Lotus, and then headed toward Alicia if you have a opportunity attack that you could potentially use.
Yes, my opportunity attack with my massive 8 strength.
Hey, I never want to assume, right? So it's heading toward Alicia.
Fair enough. I appreciate it, but let it go.
And as it's running up towards Alicia, it uses its chilling gaze upon Alicia. Alicia nails the saving throw, so she is immune to the chilling gaze of this Yeti. They'll pass to the final little Yeti. It runs away from Kumaku, fearful of Kumaku's great power, of course. And these 2 Yetis somehow are like sandwiching Lotus. And it will also multi-attack. So 2 claws coming toward Lotus.
Alright, 17 would hit, but I'm going to burn my reaction and a first level spell slot for shield.
Ooh.
But that second one would still get through.
So you shield, boonk, and then the second one slashes across your back. And Lotus, that would give you the opportunity to steal after you are damaged for 16 points of damage.
Alright, so yep, I'll go ahead and steal there. Alright, definitely don't want to risk multiple attacks of opportunity here, so I'm going to go ahead and burn another second level spell slot to Misty Step for bonus action. Pop myself over here, loop, and you see her poof away in a puff of purple smoke, and then here, much like Nightcrawler, and here, you see her turn around, and she'll get that evil grin, from same evil grin as before, and with the use the target block from Flavy. Here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my fireball grenade. I'm going to upcast it to 4th level.
Oh shit, okay.
Or Gant. I have a feeling Gant's gonna be in this one.
All right, see. I think I can finagle it just enough that he's out of range. But the other 3 are still in it. Yep.
That is very nice of you.
Alright, that will get 3 of the Yetis. And miss Alicia, just barely.
The amazing thing of having a magical mask to help you with your targeting.
Yes, alright, let me look again. Yep, she is not included in that. Or wait, hold on. Let me quickly turn off his aura for a second. Yep, she's not in. Okay, so let me get those 3 Yetis.
Yes.
So that is 3 failures. So Yeti number 1 takes 26 points of damage. Yeti number 2 takes 26 points of damage. Yeti number 3 takes 26 points of damage. And that Yeti is bloodied. And all of the Yetis are subject to their fear of fire.
Alright, and since I misty-stepped, I still have some movement. So I think to try to take some cover and get my squishy self out of the thick of battle. Let's go ahead and pop back around this way here. Loop.
Difficult terrain.
Yeah, it's difficult terrain. So you can only move 15 feet.
Fair enough. Still a good way here. So, alright, 15 feet will get me here. Loop. Alright. I guess, let's see here. I'll go ahead and pass to Gaiman.
Alright, Gaiman, you are up.
Okay. Gaiman is going to pull out Lucille. Would you be able to say? Would you say that Gaiman could still speak the command to activate Lucille even in his bear form, or no?
Let's look here. And let's look at hybrid transformation. I will say you will still be able to utter the command word.
Alright. Gaiman will, in guttural bear / giant, he will, out of the command word, breathe and bring Lucille to bear. No pun intended.
That is a hit.
Alright, that's action and bonus action. And Gaiman's gonna stand his ground.
Damn, that was an intense attack from Gaiman. Korgath is bloodied after those strikes. Alright, and Korgath will steal after that attack. After Korgath steals, let's see here. Oh, and sorry guys. Let me roll for your snow warning damage for those of you who ended your turn. Oof, that is 10. If you reduce that, that would be reduced to 5 if you have resistance. Alright, Alicia still has her bless up. Alright, our friend, Korgrath, is going to use his ability He is going to summon an icy wind. He can only hit 2 of y'all at the moment. So he'll use it against Gaiman and Alicia.
That would hit Akia too, right?
Oh, it would hit Akia too. Akia, sorry, your token is swallowed up by the massive bulk of Gaiman. So we'll need a... Oh, it says dexterity on there. It's actually a con save. Sorry, guys. This is a constitution saving throw against this cold damage. That's a success. That's a success from Gaiman. Ooh, that is a failure from Alicia for 17 points of cold. They only take 8 because of resistance. Alright, that is Korgath's action. They will use their bonus action to use their Blizzard's Cloak to grant themselves half cover, even though they are standing out in the open, as they surround themselves with snow and ice.
Does resistance already get calculated in there?
Yes, it does.
Okay, yeah, I hit quarter damage and it only dealt 2 damage to me, so that's not right.
Yeah, the new system is very smart. So if you have resistance, if you have immunity built into your character sheet, it will like factor that all in now.
All right, what should quarter damage have been?
It should be 4, I believe.
Okay.
All right, that is Korgath's turn. So Korgath has gone. Akia, would you like to steal because you were damaged?
No, that's all right.
I mean, it's only you and Gant left.
Whoever Korgath wants to pass to is fine.
All right, he'll pass to Gant. Gant, a.k.a. actually Nasalantamir, will say, best to make myself scarce. And they look down at their leg. It is chained. However, the chain has been broken by Gaiman not only becoming a werebear, but also giant in size. So they will just kind of slink back just a little bit. And then they will use their action to kind of move away. And then they will pass to Akia.
Okay. Bonus action. Kumakyu is going to fire at the badly injured one.
That is a 12. Unfortunately enough, my friend, a 12 will miss.
And then Akia will move here.
And are you trying to avoid leaving his attack of opportunity zone, or because you're still within it?
Yeah, I am trying to avoid that. Akia wants them all to be kind of mad at him. He's going to just cast a... Let's see, let me find it. I'm just going to cast a rank 1 Buzzing Bees, and it's going to go 1, 2... I don't want to activate anything weird. Oh, I got to make a Constitution saving throw, I believe, for the seed.
For the leech seed to see if you heal. That is not enough.
Okay, so I think I take like a D. You know what? I think I'll use my Faxpiration, is what I was going to say.
Alright, let's see it. Alright, that is enough. He does not heal off of you.
Okay, take that off. And I'm just going to use a rank 1 buzzing bees, and I'm going to fire at just one to each of the little guys. Just be like, hey.
Come pay attention to me.
Yeah. So.
Alrighty,
So that's 2 to 5.
Two. And... two. And then for the individual, we got 5. Okay.
Alright, that's action and bonus action. What's the action economy to... Well, I guess it's kind of all loosened up now. But I wouldn't want them to grab it. What would be the action economy to get out of the rope? The little bit that's still attached to maybe me and Alicia. Or not. It's hard to tell.
The rope, because you guys are tied together,
Yeah.
you'd probably have to take an action to untie it.
Okay, no. Then I will pass to Gaiman if they don't steal.
These Yetis will steal.
Actually, I would like to spend one of my DM inspirations to steal.
Alright, please do.
Alright, got 1 DM inspiration left. And... well, it worked the first time, so I don't see why it wouldn't work a second time. But I'm going to go ahead and cast Fireball, but I'll just go ahead and cast it at 3rd level this time.
Okay.
When in doubt, chuck a grenade.
Alright, here we go. We gotta make some dex saves. Dex save 1. That's a success. This guy will take half damage. Number 2 will fail, take the whole kit and caboodle. That Yeti will fail, taking full damage, and is destroyed.
Yeah, I guess this time, as Lewis chucks it out, she'll just taunt him with, "Is it hot enough for you?"
The Yetis all scream in Yeti.
Take that as a yes. And in difficult terrain, I'll just go ahead and back up this way. And I guess that would give the remaining ones the opportunity to steal.
Yes, and ending your turn in the snowstorm, you take 4 points of cold damage from this aura. And the little guys, before the little guys steal, the big guy still has not used his Paragon power this round, so he'll go ahead and use it. So using his Paragon power, he is going to use his scary face upon our friend Gaiman. So Gaiman, he is going to make an attempt here to frighten you.
Okay. I am not a berserker barbarian, so I don't think I have anything special with my rage to resist that. I will use my last demon inspiration to roll with advantage.
Sure. Alright, Gaiman, you shrug that off like it's nothing. Alright, we will pass to the Yetis that are here. Alright, this Yeti, it will target Akia. Alright, Akia, it is going to target you and use its chilling gaze upon you. right, Akia, you are safe from its chilling gaze. It will stick there. The other small Yeti. It is going to move to here. Moving over kind of the corpse that was burnt alive. It still has its fear of fire in place. It is going to make a couple of attacks against you, Akia. These are with a +2 at disadvantage. So nat 1. And then a 29 to hit Akia.
Okay. I would like to use my reaction to
Do you want to use one of your mirror images?
Oh yeah, I gotta roll for that first.
So its attack would hit a mirror image if you want it to just hit a mirror image.
Yeah, I'll just let it hit a mirror image.
Alright, it did not do any damage. So it'll pass to the big guy. Alright, big guy here, big guy. What is he going to do? He's facing off with Gaiman. Gaiman's pretty fearsome. It did get its icy wind back. So it's going to stay within Gaiman's attack range here. And it's going to use its icy wind, its AoE, because it got it back. And it can get all three of you guys within the icy wind. Oof.
Nat 1.
Alright, and that was only a 16 from Alicia. Then we would need one more save from Gaiman.
This is a con save.
This is a con save. Oh, I'll fix that on his sheet right now in case it happens again. Oh, there we go. Alright, and Gaiman succeeds. So those of you who failed are just a little bit slower this round. A little bit slower. And Korgath will continue to use his Blizzard Cloak bonus action. As he kind of calls upon the winter to try to help him to vanquish the foes of Auril, who destroyed one of her sculptures. Who would like to steal? Because he got 3 of y'all in one hit there.
Akia will steal. Alright, Akia's going to bonus action, gain some temp HP. And then they are going to move. Let's see, their movement speed is 20, difficult terrain makes 10, so they'll move to there. They will then target this Yeti and attempt to punch them.
Hell yeah. That is a hit. How does Akia finish that Yeti off?
Akia, as they're attacking Alicia, Akia runs up behind them, punches them in the spine, and the thunder reverberates into their spine, and it cracks, and Nakia's like, oops.
Their eyes
Ew.
cross, their body folds, and they fall to the ground, dead.
Doing a just kind of grossing themselves out a little bit, like, oh, okay. And then they'll turn to this is the one that's alive up here. I mixed up which one was alive, which one was dead. Can I take my movement back? I meant to be between the two that were alive. I did not mean to move next to the dead one.
Sure.
All right. After attacking the one that was near death and killing it, Akia would then difficult terrain on top of this corpse and would then use their other attack to attack this Yeti.
Sure. That's a nat 20, baby.
All right. And then they're taunted, but they constantly have fire on them, so I doubt it will really matter. And then Kumaku's just going to move up a little bit.
Oh, sorry. They should be there. Sorry about that.
All right. That's action and bonus action, and Akia passes to Alicia.
All right, Alicia is gonna sees that this Yeti is on its last legs. And just bonks it, and it is no longer on its last legs because it's dead. Oh, and Akia, this is your snow warning damage, so it's only 2 for this round. 2.
Okay. Did I roll for the seed?
No, I don't think you did.
Okay, here's the seed roll.
Not in this round. You're good. This seed has not been working out for him. I'm looking at our friend Alicia's spells. Okay, so Alicia will go ahead and disengage for the moment and just move out of the threatened range of this behemoth, this giant, and say, Gaiman, you can take it from here. And Gaiman, it is your turn.
Okay. So, continuing to square off against the head Yeti in charge, he is just going to growl out one word, and then he's just going to let loose.
Wow, that is a
Still
big
standing.
hit. Big hit. Let me apply the damage. The creature is near death after that strike.
Okay, extra attack.
Alright, let's see here. That is 19 damage. The creature is still standing.
Okay, I have not used my bonus action, so I'll use Savage Prowess to make an unarmed claw attack.
Awesome. This is such a cool fight for the first time for Gaiman's like a bear form to come out.
14 hit.
A 14 is very close to hitting with this guy's Blizzard Cloak up.
Alright, I will use my attack script.
A 22 hits this guy. He's like wheeling after these strikes. This Yeti was not prepared to have to face such a powerful foe.
That's all I got. 12. I don't have anything else to pump more damage into him. Unfortunately, I'm not a fighter.
All right, and I think last two to go in the round is Lotus and Valish Gant.
Alright, give to Lotus.
Alright, close rain. Say 15 feet here. Go ahead and target the Yeti dude. And I will go ahead and burn a first level spell slot and give him all of my magic missile.
All right, all of your magic missiles, they are still standing.
Alright. Alright, well, that's all I got. But, here. Alright. Since it's the only one left, I'll go ahead and pass to our possessed friend Valish Gant.
All right, possessed friend Valish Gant looks over and says, "This one has but nothing he can do to a fight from here. Nothing he can do to attack. Ooh. There's something he can do." They'll stop dodging. They'll move 15 feet. Let me see here. What's the range on this? Shall I cast a spell? He can cast it. She's seeking confirmation from you guys before she casts the spell.
Gaiman is not of a mind to be able to communicate.
Let me check something real quick. Well, I'm out of range anyway, but I'd say so long as it doesn't look like it's casting it at one of us, sure.
All right. Using Valish's spells that he has not used because he has not wanted to get beat up, they will cast Sleep. And you guys see this Yeti take a big old yawn and just lays down on the ground and starts sleeping. And they'll say, "Pretty good, huh? Pretty good." And they will pass it to Akia.
Gaiman will look at the Yeti that is now snoring at his feet and back at Gant and just eat it.
I'm con save for the seed.
Ooh. Do you want to leave it at that 14?
Yeah, I'll leave it at the 14.
Alright, so you take 9 necrotic damage, and the Yeti heals 9 damage. So in the Yeti's sleep, it goes... as it draws your energy into its body.
All right, it's still draining me, so I'm going to gonna toss an incendiary grenade on top of it. I'm casting create bonfire on top of the Yeti.
All right, so it's got to make a dex save. So it fails, so it's going to take the damage, right?
Yeah.
It accidentally killed it. It shouldn't have been killed by that. 1 second. So it takes the damage, and its slumbering eyes slam open as it's burned. But it starts its turn prone.
Is the ice storm that's dealing damage to us at the end of our turns like the entire map, or is it like how what's the range on that?
60-foot radius.
Okay, so pretty big.
Yeah, when you would leave it, I'm pretty sure you would have a little token that would leave your token.
Yeah, I'll just step this way. And I guess Kumaku will fire at him.
All right, he is prone.
Move up a little bit. Oh, I guess, I don't have any temp HP, so I'll give myself some temp HP instead. Use my bonus action for that instead of having Kumaku attack. And let's see. Then I'll pass to, I guess, Corpora Stills.
They will. At the start of their turn, they will stand up from being prone. They are going to move out of the bonfire. Facing off with Gaiman and Alicia. Alright, let's see if they get their Icy Wind back. They do. Okay, I think they moved 15 feet out of that. They stood up for 15, so they are out of movement. They got their AoE back. They're going to go ahead and use it here. And they can only get 2 of y'all. Oh! It looks like they can't actually get a Kia. I thought they could. Okay, you're just out of range. So they will kind of fire it down at an angle. And they'll get Alicia and Gaiman.
Is Kumaku in that?
It's a 30-foot cone. So yeah, I'm going to say Kumaku also has to make the save. Oh, and Kumaku gained vulnerability to cold.
Okay. Kumaku takes 60 damage and dies.
That's rough, buddy. As Kumaku probably just like explodes. Oh, shit. Sopo has to make the save too because they gain vulnerability to cold. Sopo also dies. Because they were just chilling, watching. Like, no one was attacking them. And they were just standing here. And I just... and that is it for Choreograph. They hit multiple people people there. So, Gaiman, would you like to steal, or do you want Alicia to take it?
Gaiman's gonna steal.
Hell yeah.
Since his opponent is now awake and is now fair game by his sense of honor, if a bear could smile, he's smiling. And he's just gonna heft Lucille above his head and bring it down hammer side on top of the Torghast's head. And we're gonna Galgear this ish.
All right, let's see it. A 17 hits. And with that amount of damage, how would Gaiman finish this creature off?
Gallagher style, just head explodes, brain and bits of bone are just going everywhere. And unfortunately, this means that is spattering the wall in Alicia. And Gaiman just turns to everyone, smiling, and just says one word.
Oh, the one word cut out for me. What was the one word?
Yep.
He said pop.
Eh. That's awesome. So, as the encounter ends, we will change the music as the battlefield, the destination has very much changed. There are 4 gigantic Yeti bodies kind of surrounding you all, dead on the ground. Sopo has been destroyed. You no longer see the spirit of Nas Lantimir. Valishgant approaches, and walking back toward you all is your B-teamers who were hiding. Mr. Namarnaker holding the dropped Professor Orb. And Danica crawling out from underneath one of the benches of this kind of scene.
I've got an important question. Were the Yeti, did they seem like they were at all trying to avoid damaging the area, like the sculptures and stuff?
Yeah, they seemed like they were focused on just going after you guys. They were taking careful aim to not hit any of the sculptures with anything.
Okay. Well, I am disappointed. Is Leech Seed still hurting me, or is that gone now?
That's gone. The seed that was connected to you falls to the ground. Inert.
Gaiman is going to stay in bear form for the time being, and he's going to gesture at Jeff and kind of hold his hands out in this general area, and then point to where the where Auril popped up and just sort of like he's trying to communicate that his mother was being very rude.
Yeah.
Danica will speak up, not to point out anything, but who was that large woman who appeared out of the snow and then seemed to summon these creatures to attack and potentially murder us? Who do we think that is? I don't want to say it aloud.
I think Lotus, after the fight, would have sort of rushed back over towards the front of the fountain, but she would have been much more careful this time. What's it showing?
It is empty and clear.
Yeah. Well, so just sort of like grumble under her breath and then stand up and say, well, if Sopo was to be believed, it was not the lady herself, at least some sort of aspect of Auril. She says, not 100% sure if that's the right term.
Avatar.
Yes, but look, she'll point at the water. It's like you saw that. Was I the only one that saw that?
DM, was she the only one that saw that?
Everyone saw that.
No, Lotus. I believe we all saw it.
Would Gimli have been able to see it from his from him standing back?
I think everyone who was looking at the pool could have seen it, would have seen it, but if you weren't looking at the pool, you wouldn't have seen the vision.
Okay.
No, how did she... Look, that was my friend Diamante. She's on a mind flayer ship. I have to find her. I have to save her.
Watto is there as well, so Watto would crawl out from underneath a bench. Your friend also was abducted by mind flayers. That's terrible.
Right, and she'll realize she's feeling kind of heated, so she'll take a few deep breaths to calm herself. Right, well, guess maybe she was trying to figure out what happened to me, and maybe they ended up taking her too, but... Alright. Well, I'm gonna find anything standing around here, then just look around and then slowly stride over towards Valushkant and say like, oh, congratulations, you finally did something useful.
Baelish looks to you and smiles. Yes, I would say that I have.
Do I recognize that he sounds different?
What's your passive insight?
Alright, let me check real quick. Just base 10.
Give me an active insight check, because it's a kind of like 50-50 here.
Alright. You know what? I haven't used it for anything else yet, so I'm going to go ahead and burn my Faxpiration on that.
Sure.
With 13.
With a 13, you, like, alright, he's never sounded like that before.
All right. I'll raise an eyebrow, and then cross my arms over my chest and say, "All right, get out of there."
The Baelish Gant will smile to you and say, I don't think I will.
Hey, Gaiman. What was it you were... I think I might need your help with something. I think Baelish Gant needs something invasive removed.
And she the creature controlling Baelish Gant and says, and why would it matter if Baelish had himself in control or I in control? We are both, as you say, traveling with you. This way there's just a more accurate and professional driver behind the wheel, not some slack-jaw fool.
I admit that I never really cared much for Baelish Gant, but he deserves to have bodily autonomy just like anyone else does.
Yes, and would you say that is what he has, traveling with you all? You treat him as your whipping boy, your servant, your slave. I don't think he has autonomy at all.
Gaiman will shuffle up at this point, and with the spiky end of Lucille, he will go poke, and he will poke Baelish Gant in the arm with it.
And she says, ow, that hurt Baelish Gant's arm. She'll laugh.
Right. While that conversation's going on that Akia is ignoring, Akia will be trying to put together the bird statue.
Let's see here.
Just using their tools to try and put it back in the correct shape, and then using mending to try and seal it together.
Alicia, overhearing all of this going on, quickly takes a breath and then looks at her spells.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So if you missed out on the situation, so in the fight, during the confusion...
Oh, I saw. I saw. Alicia's just gonna, while tending to their wounds, just watch Akia as they're putting the statuette back together. That's all.
Gaiman is going to pick up Baelish Gant by their ankles and hold them upside down and start shaking them as if to try and dump out something from... like you're trying to empty a sack.
Baelish Gant goes, kind of jumping up and down, their faces kind of doing that. However, as their face is doing that, kind of telekinetically, the voice within them says, that is not going to eject me from this vessel. Why don't we just let bygones be bygones? Allow my possession of this creature be just a friendly takeover. He had his chance to resist me and he failed, showing his ineptitude.
Well, here's another concept that's apparently foreign to you. Did you ask him for his consent?
She laughs and says, do you think this creature shared the same concerns when he put so many people under his racket that you stopped?
I didn't, no. But my punishment was not for him to decide at that point.
So the ghost is essentially, until you guys try to exorcise her, will say, "Hey, I'm gonna stay in here. Why not? He's not using it for nothing."
Gaiman will right Baelish Gant, will hold him by his shoulders, looking at Lotus and say, "Sleeper?" As if to ask, do you want me to put him in the sleeper hold?
He does rubber chin, thinking about it for a moment. Says, as somewhat entertaining as it's been to see you do this, I think it's become kind of a moot point. Go ahead and let him down.
Gaiman will just go, shake his head, and he will say, "Listen.
I'm listening.
Teach. Lesson." And then shouting out in Alicia's direction, "Exorcism!"
We have enough to deal with on this island. I don't think I want to waste resources on them. But if I have anything left over, I will gladly send them on their way. Count yourself lucky, Nash. Or Ness, every other way.
Nash Lantimir will say, "Well, thank you. I am lucky. Lucky enough to have died on this island. However, you all found my body. Let's agree to work our way together to, well, our goal." And she points her hand towards the looming kind of impression on the sky. The castle of Grimskull looming in the distance.
And Gaiman will just drop Gant.
All right. How about I make you... How about this? If so long you can stay in Baelish Gant, as long as you do not put his body in any purposeful danger, and in return, I can tell you more about why I'm seeking out Avarice.
Lotus, you're giving her two things. You're supposed to ask for something.
I am. I'm asking her to basically just keep Gant safe.
You're giving her multiple things. That's not even her body. You're just giving her. You're just giving and giving and giving, and she doesn't deserve that.
Agreed.
And one thing I've noticed so far, Nass has been continuously calling Baelish Gant a creature. So something tells me that the ones of the Arcane Brotherhood who came here, I don't think they're allies. They may be from the same organization, but I don't think they're friends. So I don't think I don't think she cares what happens to his body. He's just a vehicle for her.
She shrugs, like, yes, you're right.
Right? I have the right of it, don't I?
Yes, hard to keep anything past those of a sharp mind like yourself.
And she's already attacked us once. We don't need to trust her. Please, do not give her anything else. Do not trust her with anything else.
Alright. Seems I'm outvoted. And as she does, she gets a bit of that evil grin once again. It was as if she knew something like this would happen.
The wizard inhabiting the wizard will say, well, now that we've finished here with the sculptures and the yetis, where is it that you all wish to go? The Garden of Death?
First things first. Akia, do you need any help with that?
I'd appreciate that. It comes out kind of a low energy, depressed sort of response.
I will say I was shocked into silence, seeing an avatar of what I assume Lady Frostkiss emerging in front of us. Honestly thought she was going to do more, but probably also thankful that she didn't.
I am also a bit disappointed, but for other reasons.
I don't think it was on purpose that the statue got damaged. Maybe if we get a chance to speak with her, we can try and clear up that misunderstanding.
Possibly. That encounter with my mother just now does lower my optimism for having what I would consider to be a reasonable conversation. Although I suppose the things that a god concerns themselves with would be difficult to, what's the words? Mortals to empathize with, I suppose.
The gods do things in mysterious ways. It's hard for us to comprehend or understand them. The best we can do is try, but unless they give very explicit directions, then really it's just up to our interpretation.
I always kind of hope that supreme beings would be supremely rational, and I suppose that is a bit too hopeful.
Again, I am far from any type of expert on deities or deific beings or things of that similar nature. But I would assume they also have emotions, much like the beings that they create. Just
That's too
probably on a much higher level. So if they get angry, they get very, very angry.
That's too bad.
But maybe we can help her see some sort of reason.
And Akia just keeps very, very carefully working on this bird.
During this scene, as you guys are kind of working on this bird, you're talking about the aftermath of what has happened. Do you all wish to try to gain a rest here, or do you guys wish to try to push on?
I'm fine with pushing on.
It's still morning, but we could... It's late enough in the morning to take a lunch that y'all squishy people have to eat eventually. So I would vote it would be a good time to take a short rest while... Yeah.
I think that sounds reasonable. At least we try to gain back some of the HP we lost in that battle.
All right, if you guys wish, you can attempt a short rest at this location.
While the others rest, I think Akia would spend that time, instead of resting, they would be trying to repair the damage that was done, both to the bird and during the battle to the area.
Absolutely. How does Akia do so?
Well, I think Akia would be taking their tools, got some tweezers for the smaller bits. They would be putting it into place and then using mending to seal it in place. And they would be kind of like assembling a model sort of thing. Like it, but instead of a model car, it's, model bird. And instead of super glue, it's a mending spell. And they would get, if they ever got a tricky part, they would ask Alicia for help with that. I think Akia and Kumakyu would have enough hands between. Oh, Kumakyu's dead.
Sorry, Kumakyu.
Yeah. I think they would ask Alicia anytime they needed like 3 or 4 hands to like hold something together. They would ask Alicia for an extra hand.
Yeah, definitely help out with that. And These sculptures, they're made of like what? Ice? Diamond?
They are beautiful ice sculptures, but they look as if they were carved from diamond. That's how, like, realistic and shining and just otherworldly they are.
Okay. And there's like, I'm assuming small pieces and stuff like that. Would those be like easily missable?
Correct, because the ground itself is essentially the same color as the ice statue shards.
Okay. Then I'll use as best as my perception will allow me to try and find those pieces.
Sure.
Also swap some stuff around.
Akia will also try to fix the Gormor statue that was broken before they got there.
Okay. To represent your efforts in trying to fix all these statues, Akia, you could give me a, let's call it a Tinker's Tools check or Thieves' Tools check to represent your working of these objects.
Okay, I will use DM Inspiration. That's my last inspiration. Would I be able to get a guidance from Alicia for this?
Because this is your work over the course of an entire hour, guidance would not apply.
Okay. All right, using my last DM Inspiration.
All right, 31.
31. Because these are very important. Let me see if this applies. Is that considered an ability check?
Yes.
All right, I will overclock and make it a 35.
Okay.
Since these were literally carved by a god.
So, Kia, you do your absolute best to fix these, and in your thought pattern, and I think everyone else's, these statues are repaired to immaculate, almost, you would say, deified levels of statues here.
All right, I think at the end of the hour, Akia is trying so hard with this and is focusing so hard and already feeling sick from the possession attempt that they feel very sick just from the stress that they've been under. Yeah. So they would be very physically ill at this point.
Which is crazy because Akia has no need to
Robot boy can't get poisoned. What the fuck is this?
Mm-hmm. Right. They've never felt like this before. They've never been under this stress before, mm-hmm. except when the fire happened. They've never felt this type of stress before.
He's turning into a real boy.
Like, congratulations, Akia. You're experiencing feelings of doubt and helplessness.
Welcome to humanity. I think Alicia would just kind of noticing that you're looking down, as weird as that seems to them. They're just going to put a hand on your back and just give you a pat.
Yeah, you'll notice that their hand, that they're doing this immaculate work, but then whenever their hands are done with anything, they start shaking. And it's really weird because machine. I do not feel good.
Maybe we should move on from this place. Are you good to travel?
Oh. Yes. Should we check these Yetis for... you know what? Never mind. Yeah, we can go. Akia at some point will end up over here just to look and see what this is, because they're still curious, boy. If this represents something
On the map?
a big statue. Yeah.
Yeah, it as Kia looks at this statue, Kia, you would see that the statue is of itself of a large, and as it's displayed on the map, a kind of an image of the moon, a crescent moon, and there's just this blue orb in the center that kind of glows and emanates just light blue light, kind of cascading across all of the other statues here.
I want to touch it, but I don't want anything else to break. So I guess I won't. And they'll just turn around and be real sad and leave with the group.
I would say while we were doing the short rest, Lotus would just very gingerly set herself down on the steps leading up to the fountain here and do what she usually does when she's sort of lost in her own thoughts, just sort of light up a cigarette, just start smoking. And as she does, she uses minor illusion and she brings up the holographic image in her hand of her friend Diamante, just sort of just imagining that, having not heard from her Evilise in a while, she would probably just gotten on a flight back home from Japan and then just started, asking around, like, hey, what happened to Evilise? Like, what's going on? Why has she been gone for so long? And probably would have ended up at that abandoned sugar processing plant and gotten herself kidnapped by mind flayers too.
You always got to read the fine print of anything, right?
I guess anyone in the party or the B team that walks by would see that.
Seeing that, your friend, I should say more than a friend, Watto, would rest his hand on your shoulder and say, how can we trust that this pond is showing us the truth? Or is it just a dark reflection of a nightmare? Not all magical ponds can be held to high standards.
She nods and dispels the image and takes a long drag. Well, you could be right. That's. It does seem like her. You know, we were always rushing headlong into situations that we weren't always sure what we were getting into, and I guess at least for one of us, that hasn't really changed much.
It's true, but look who you have around us. We've got Alicia. We've got Gaiman. And, well, and we've got Gaiman. I don't think we've really even talked about this. Gaiman is a bear, everyone.
Few hours. And Gaiman will wag his finger at Lotus and take the cigarette, and he will stomp it out in the ground.
Hey, I wasn't finished with that.
It's bad for you.
Fire hazard.
Look, I know it's bad for me, but that's not going to stop me. I need it. It helps me think.
Reach out with a ursine finger, poke you in the middle of the forehead, say, perfect.
There's a lot going on, and I'm trying to think. Look, even if I wanted to quit, I can't just give it up cold turkey. Besides, I don't think anyone around here sells nicotine patches.
At hearing this, Gaiman will poke himself in the chest and then, looking square at Lotus, say, cold turkey. And then he will put his finger on your chest and say, cold turkey. And give you a thumbs up. As if to say, he believes that you could do it if you wanted to.
She will give a bit of a smile at that and say, does this mean you're going to be my sponsor?
Gaiman will shrug.
And then she basically explains to you how Alcoholics Anonymous works with that whole thing.
Gaiman will sit through it, but he will realize to himself that being in the bear form, while fun, is limiting in terms of having a real conversation. Because the shrug was, sure, if you want me to be the sponsor, I guess, not the shrug of, I don't understand what you mean by that.
All right. Well,
He has now been told about the 12 steps.
and so what she'll do is she'll take the pack of cigarettes and she'll hand them over to Bear Gaiman and say, all right, no matter what I do, no matter what I say, don't give them back to me, okay?
Gaiman will nod, and he will put them in his sporran.
That's awesome. So, you all, your short rest ends with no incident. You are able to recover your abilities. You're able to spin your hit die. There is no monstrous encounter or event that interrupts your rest.
Akia will attempt to sort of usher everyone out of the garden art project museum thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that they can get a moment alone to just look in the pool of water and um, say, sorry. And we'll just turn and leave.
No, if anything, I should apologize. It's my fault for being reckless and diving into the pool, and it's what knocked the thing over.
Okay. Wait, are you apologizing to me?
Yes,
Sure.
because
Oh.
yes, Akia, because you shouldn't feel guilty about that. It wasn't your fault. You were being careful. If anything, you were trying to help reconstruct your mother's statues.
Okay.
Well then, since we don't have our tour guide, I guess this is going to be more of a self-guided tour of the island.
Baelish Gant will say, I think I have some insights on maybe where we should head next. And they point towards Grimscow. Maybe towards the large, spooky castle to find what we're all looking for.
I mean, whatever celestial being we're supposed to get blood from for one of these powerful spells that's tattooed on my body.
She says, ooh, I don't think I knew that you guys were coming to do that, but, or if I did know that, and now I know it again. Ooh, yes, quite exciting. Quite exciting indeed. As they, act like they're pushing up glasses that aren't there, because they're used to do that in their, their living form, but Valishgant doesn't wear glasses, so it looks kind of weird. So, Heroes is your next step to head towards the castle of Grimscow.
I don't think Kia has any other places on the island that they're trying to go. There is the Garden of Death, but doesn't. I don't think they're going to bring it up.
And I would say unless anyone else has any other ideas.
Gaiman is enjoying being in bear form, and we'll just he'll just go with whatever the party wants to do.
All right. Well, let me take you to this then. So, as you guys march your way towards where I have your token location to, rising before you all is a 600-foot tall mountain of glacial ice. Its peak carved to represent a giant skull wearing a crown. Weaving up the mountain's southern slope are enormous stairs hewn from ice. These steps, which extend from the base of the mountain to the base of the fortress, were clearly made from giants. That is kind of the image we end on this session, leading you all up into the fortress of Grimskull. So, everybody, our next session will then be entering the castle after kind of a little interlude, exploring the locations around this small island.
Looking forward to it. You guys have fun.